Oh jeez, it totally just cuts off half my face, huh? Better. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought it would be kind of fun, given that it is now the new year, to go through everything I read in 2023 and just kind of give a very brief yes or no. Yes as in it was a good read, loved it, no, don't bother, or sure, maybe kind of reviews. Just very quickly go through everything I read in 2023. It's not a comprehensive list because I didn't actually start writing down what I was reading last year until June, maybe a little bit earlier than June. So this isn't everything I read, but it's everything I wrote down. First up was The Selection by Kira Cass. I'm gonna give this a maybe. If you are an actual young adult, it probably would have been fun. The second book in the series is The Elite. I DNF'd that. It got too much miscommunication in the romance, too much cheating for me. DNF'd that one. Next up, Crash and Burn by AJ Nicole. I'm gonna give this one a sure. There was These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. Yes, absolutely. 10 out of 10. Fabulous. Then there was The Inn on Harmony Island and The Shop Around the Corner. Not the, like, You've Got Mail, Shop Around the Corner. And that is by Anne Marie Meyer. No. Two stars. No, don't bother. Then I tried to read This Is Your Brain on Music, which is a nonfiction book about how your brain responds to music. I DNF'd it. It got a little bit too technical for me to really continue following along, and DNF'd that one. Then in June, which was my favorite reading month, was The Summer We Fell by Elizabeth O'Rourke. 10 out of 10. Absolutely amazing. Love this book. Sobbed. Still cannot stop thinking about these characters. I am probably going to have to do a reread and do a whole video about this book because I just loved it so much. Then there was, of course, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. 10 out of 10. Loved it, inhaled it, read it all in one night. Yes, definitely recommend. Then in July, I had Ruthless Heart by Roxy Sloan, which was a mafia romance. DNF'd that one. Then I started reading Bow Before the Elf Queen by J.M. Curl. I'd seen a lot of really good reviews about this one. I gave it 3.5 stars. It was not for me, didn't love it. So sure. This next one was a TikTok ad that I fell for. I fall for all of them. I'm terrible about that. Was Trapped by the Beastly Highlander by Eloise Madigan. It was short, it was free, it was funny. I'll give it a 3 out of 5, sure. Then I read Lord Lost by Darren Shaw. This was a agreement that I made with my husband that I would read one of his favorite books if he would read Fourth Wing for me. So I read Lord Lost by Darren Shaw. This is a middle grade horror book in regards to chess playing demons and werewolves, and the main character I think is like 12 or 13, so it's a little bit of that coming of age. It reads like it is meant for 12, 13-year-old boys, so in that way, cool, just not for me, but probably good for a different audience that is not me. After that, I read Model Behavior, which is part of the Seabird collection by Kelsey Ray. I liked Model Behavior. I think I gave it like a 3.7 out of 5. Yes, enjoyed it. And then I tried to read Don't Let Me Fall, which is part of that series. I don't remember if I finished that one or not, so I'm just gonna say maybe on that one. Then I tried Curvy Girls Don't Date Quarterbacks by Kelsey Stetling. Another one of those ads that reeled me in. I'm gonna say no. I did not finish that one, and Then in August, I only read one book, which was part of the Probably Smut book club. It was Unstoppable by K.A. Knight. This was a reverse harem superhero thriller romance book. Very spicy, pretty dark. I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 5. Sure. Then in September, I continued Chloe Gong's series with These Violent Delights, and into the second book, Our Violent Ends. Again, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. Yes, read her work. After that was Threaded by Tay Rose, also part of the Probably Smut book club. So Threaded is a fantasy, not exactly a reverse harem, though there are kind of multiple love interests or lust interests. I think I gave it another 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, go ahead with this one. It was alright. Then there was The Summer I Saved You, also by Elizabeth O'Rourke, my queen. I did not like this as much as The Summer We Fell. This is part of her summer series, so it's not about the same characters per se, but kind of the same characters within a certain friend group. And it was a single mom, neighbors to lovers, office place romance. Very sweet, and Elizabeth can do no wrong in my eyes. Gave that one a 3.8 out of 5. Yes, read this one. Then in October, October was a big month. I started off with Not So Lucky. This one, Not So Lucky by Terlina Pucci. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This one was just a lot of fun. Contemporary ball player romance. Just really enjoyable. Very, very spicy, but a lot of sass and had me cracking up. Very easy read. So if you like the spice and a lot of humor, that was a fun one, yes. Then on theme for October, I started reading Vampires of El Norte, which was a book of the month pick for me that month by Isabel Canas. I'm not saying that correctly. Please don't come for me. This one was a Mexican gothic kind of cowboy romance with a little sprinkling of vampires in there, but not the sparkly kind, pretty horrific kind. Very enjoyable, not too scary. I am a horror baby, like infant, so it was not too scary for me, and the romance was very sweet. I gave that one a 4 out of 5. Not really any spice at all, very fade to black, so good for you guys who don't like that. Then was a 3-book series, which I believe turns into a 6-book series, but follows a different character, was the Psycho Shifters series by Jasmine Moss. This is a enemies to lovers romance in kind of a shifter verse. Not all of them are werewolves per se. They can all kind of shift into different things, but still kind of that alpha, beta, omega kind of ranking. Okay, shortening this. Psycho Shifters, I gave a 3 out of 5. Lots of spice. Then book 2 was Psycho Fate. I gave a 3.5 or 4 out of 5. Liked that one the most out of all the 3. And then the last one was Psycho Beast, which has kind of like this mafia element to it that I wasn't crazy about. And the ending was just kind of meh. I gave that one a 2 out of 5. But overall, really enjoyed it. I do actually want to continue on this series with this other character, so stay tuned for that. Yes, for that one. Next up was, much to my regret, Haunting Adeline and Hunting Adeline. I gave Haunting Adeline a 2.5 out of 5 and Hunting Adeline a 3 out of 5. For me, this was a no. I understand that some people like this stuff. It was too dark for me. Granted, the writing was good enough. It kept me reading. I didn't put it down, but it was still probably the darkest I ever am willing to explore, and I don't really want to go back there again. For me, this is a no. Sorry. And then closing out October was Ex Hex and the Kiss Curse by Rachel Hawkins. This was a really fun, witchy sort of Halloween read, contemporary romance. Again, a lot of fun, nice easy read on theme for Halloween. I gave Ex Hex 3.5 out of 5 and Kiss Curse 3.9 out of 5. Yes, check that one out, especially near Halloween time. It was very sweet romances and just a lot of fun. November, I'm gonna try and be really fast with this one because I did already upload the Everything I Read in November video. So there was the Sound of Us collection by C.R. Jane. This was a 3.5 out of 5, sure. Then I read Iron Flame, which for me, I initially gave a 5 out of 5. If you don't know, Iron Flame is by Rebecca Yarros. It's the second book in the Empyrean series. So the second book to Fourth Wing. If you don't know that, where have you been? Iron Flame, I initially gave a 5 out of 5. Looking back on it, I am going to lower that to a 4 out of 5. There were some things about it I wasn't in love with, though I really enjoyed the plot elements and the world building that Rebecca brought to the series, though the romance for me was lacking quite a bit, and it was a much more difficult read for that reason. But yes, read Iron Flame. Next up was the 3-book series, We Will Reign, You Will Bow, They Will Fall by Rachel Lee. This is no, don't bother. Then there was Severed by Vengeance by L. Maldonado. Sure, it was okay. Not amazing, not life-changing. It was alright if you like dark romance. Then there was Going Into December, Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. Absolutely loved it. Yes, if you are a romance fan, this is a really fun hockey figure skater college romance. Very sweet, very well written. Definitely a comfort read. Check this one out. 5 out of 5, or 4.5 out of 5. Again, Going Into December was A Court of Sugar and Spice by Rebecca F. Kenny. Definitely read the trigger warnings before going into this one, but it was a lot of fun. Really interesting retelling. I like her writing style a lot. It throws some really thoughtful, fun plot points into her retellings. So if you're okay with the triggers before going into it, really fun read. I gave that one a 3.5 out of 5. December, I was very busy for December. I had a lot going on. I am a mom, so I really only got to one book going into December, and that was A Hunt So Wild and Cruel, also by Rebecca F. Kenny. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. Really fun, really well written. Is a Christmas Carol retelling, except Scrooge is a female queen reigning over this fantasy land with a bunch of fae, and instead of 3 ghosts of Christmas, she is visited by the spirits of 3 fae who are trying to change her heart, and along the way there is quite a bit of spice and romance. Again, Rebecca just did a really great job of doing a retelling by adding plot points that just really made it fun. The characters have depth. There's a lot of layers to her stories, and I just really appreciated how well she was able to do a retelling like this. I really enjoyed it. I still go back and think about it. So for me, that is a 4 out of 5. I wanted to do a whole video reviewing it, but I just don't have the time. Also one where you do want to check trigger warnings. Her spice is not for everybody. That's the only reason, honestly, why I didn't give it a 5 out of 5 was because some of these spicier, darker scenes aren't really for me. Not my cup of tea. But overall, I really enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the plot, and we'll want to go back and reread this next Christmas. So yes, absolutely go check that one out. I'm sorry, I keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. I'm new to this. That was everything I read in 2023 that I remembered to write down. It was a weird year for me. Definitely got into some darker romance, which I think I've discovered is not really my thing going forward, but it was nice to really get back into reading this year. I haven't been able to be so much into reading in years past, so it's definitely me kind of dipping my toes back into this romance reading world, and I have had a lot of fun with it. I'm really looking forward to 2024. Keep a lookout for my next video where I'm going to be talking about my reading goals goals for 2024 and books I'm hoping to read for this coming year. If you can, please help girl out. Please like and comment. What were some of your favorite reads? Did you read any of the books that I mentioned? What were your thoughts? Happy New Year, everybody. Bye.